welcome back. Welcome back to me again. I am here with another review of I May Destroy You. This is episode 9. Social media is a great way to connect. So we start off this episode with Arabella in a room. She's having flashbacks of being assaulted. But unlike other times, it's multiple males, but all of the males are white men. And we get, Ben, who kind of interludes, asks if she's okay, and lets us know that it is Halloween. Bella then goes to social media, and she kind of replays herself on this rant of saying, white men are whining, and why can't we do this? Why can't we have that? And she's kind of, pointing the finger, like, this is why I don't like you guys now. It's kind of feeling like Bella is kind of pinpointing someone. Like maybe she might have an idea of who her attacker is. That's what I saw. But we get to Arabella. She's at the doctor. She's having a CT scan. Now immediately we already see that Bella can't even get through the doctor's appointment and really even hear what the doctor is saying because she's on social media. I'm a trick it because it's Halloween. Like she is completely distracted. Now, we do see that before that on her bed, she's continuing to get all of this praise from social media, yet she's still broken, she's still crying. But in the office, she kind of goes on a rant because she feels like she's being racially profiled because the doctor assumes that she's from a certain African descent, and she's like, no, I'm this. Who created that? Like, I'm not accepting any injustice anywhere. Bella is kind of doing the most. She's doing the most, and the doctor's like, girl, look, I just diagnosed. I don't know who made this form. I'm just, saying what's on the paper. Well, who made the paper? I'm back. Clearly, we also see that Terry next to her is irritated and over it, but every time Bella pivots that camera at the real Terry Pratchett, we get that moment on camera, but she's over it nonetheless. Now she immediately zooms out and we're taking our pictures. We're on social media, and once again we get a comment about we're trying to avoid, stress and high blood pressure. She needs to take care of herself. Bella needs to take care of herself, and we're met with more discussion about vaping. This is maybe like the third or fourth time we've heard comments about vaping. It's like the show is kind of trying to push a message across, like, shut up about vaping. Like, we don't want to hear about, this is, 10 times worse than cigarettes. Get over yourself. It's not. It's bigger issues going on. Worried about vaping. Vaping is fine. This is what I'm getting from the show. But we meet up with Kwame. Kwame is being old Kwame. From what we can see, he's watching the whole explicit video right there next to Bella on the street. Like, let me see what he's working with, what I'm getting myself into before I get underneath him. Very casual, very, very Kwame. But we see Terry come out. She says, they were out of halos, and we are met with the costume choice of, well, I want to wear the halo. Who gets to wear the halo? And it's not kind of thrown away, not by me, that Kwame was like, girl, I don't care. You get to wear that halo. I kind of read that as, Kwame like, I don't want no parts of the halo. I'm no angel. I'm not doing any angel-esque activities. You can wear the halo. I could care less. But Terry, is going on about them going to like a painting with a twist, paint and sip type situation. And as they're walking away, Bella is met with, more admiration from someone who's seen her on social media and, more praise. Thank you so much for what you're doing for us. It's so important. And immediately we see Kwame and Terry off distancing themselves, like we are so over it. Like, girl, get over yourself. We're over the praise. We're over the stopping. We're over, can we get a picture? We are over Bella and her social media rants. Like, this episode, we see, like, the social media has completely taken over. It's no more, oh, you know, it's a little hobby. It's something I'm using to cope. No, this is Bella's life at this point. Like, she can't like, go an hour without posting something. But we see the you know, the guy, he's like, you know, I've been there, thank you so much for what you're doing for all of us. And Kwame's like, hey, Bells, this echo chamber is freezing, can we get out of here, can you come on? And I just saw Kwame kind of screaming for help, like, you're giving so much support and praise to these people you don't even know, and I'm here freezing cold, you know, freezing trauma in your face, and you're not even noticing me. Granted, has Kwame, you know, reached out for that help? I don't think so, because we see Kwame grinding it up. Now, we get into this sip and see situation. Both Terry and Kwame are dressed as angels. Granted, Terry is the one with the halo, and Kwame has opted for this bowl cut wig situation, and Bella she looks like a demon. She looks like a demon. So we got two angels and a demon. But we're already, no, let's not even get to that. Back to this demon. Now, this kind of scared me as second viewing, but if you go back, if you missed it, because I did, when the show starts and Bella's sitting on her bed and, you know, she's having her, you know, white man rant, Ben comes in and he's, you know, checking on her. And of course, Ben is a white male. She kind of waits for him to walk away, and she has this look of, like, disdain, like, you could be one, like, it's open season around here. And we cut back to her and we see the outfit that she wore at Terry's party, along with that black wig, is looming, it's floating over her. And it kind of scared me, because I was like, okay, I didn't see that there. It's looming over her. Now, I thought it was just like a dummy, just kind of propped up, because it is Halloween, but I wasn't sure, because it kind of looked, and then it looked back. And I'm like, okay. But we're at the sip and see, of course. No vaping, no phones right off the back. We might can do, you know, without the vaping, but no phones. Bella without her phone, not right now. You expect me to stay off of my phone, away from my bunnies. But already crossing those boundaries. Bella has her phone out, and you know, the movement, and, you know, come on down to the sip and see. Like, she can't go 5 minutes without that phone. Like, every moment is an optic moment. Like, I need to get this out. But every time, you know, once again, Bella pivots that camera around. It's, oh, who did it? At the Real Terry Project. We still, you know, reveling in it just a little bit, even though it may get on her nerves. But Kwame begins to talk about his date and kind of dismisses it as, oh, she was just some racist F-word, N-word saying female, and I just want to forget about it. As if he, you know, had no part in doing anything wrong. And, you know, Belle's like, you know, I bet you're glad that you didn't, you know, sleep with her. And Kwame's like, yeah, I did it, but, you know, I just want to forget about it, as he wants to do everything. And Belle's like, well, you know, she couldn't be too horrible, because you slept with her, you penetrated her. And Kwame begins to play it off like, you know, well, I didn't want to, and she forced it on me, so. And just with my face, Bella's like, what? She forced it on you. Was she being a bit aggressive? Yes. But from my understanding, despite Kwame saying, I didn't want to sleep with her. I didn't go there to sleep with her. Last episode, I don't want to sleep with a man, so I want to sleep with a woman. I'm going to sleep with a woman. Kwame went in with intentions to sleep with this woman, and he didn't disclose everything about himself. At this point, Bella is feeling like, wow, like, who are you? Are you my friend Kwame? Are you an abuser? Someone who's okay with saying and doing things like this, given what happened to myself and, even what happened with you? Kwame is still not taking any responsibility for what happened. And, like, no acknowledgement. Like, you know what? I didn't want to. She made me. I didn't like it. It was gross. Like, and Terry proceeds to stick up for Kwame. Like, he's in a vulnerable place and he has enough going on. And I do not stand for Terry at all under any circumstances so far. But I was happy to see one of them finally bring up her locking Kwame in the room with Jamal. And she's like, what? Like, I didn't. But she, immediately goes in to apologize and says, I've been a good friend to you, haven't I? And kind of discloses that she has been trying to lend a helping hand and some support Kwame's way, and Kwame is just maybe not just open to it just yet. But she kind of deals with Terry sticking up for Kwame like really hard. She tells her to off, and it's like whoa, like she goes on this rant about not throwing your emotions around, not throwing your weight around because you're in a vulnerable space, when that's what we've seen Bella do a lot these past episodes. So it's like no right or wrong in any of this. But Bella is just not feeling it, and Kwame's hurt, Terry's speechless. She just walks out. With a little demon costume, alone, with her social following, but alone. She's trying to charge that pen, charge that phone, because that's what's been keeping her content all this time. She's all about vaping and all about that social media. She has just had a really big argument with one of her best friends, yet she's out acting very casual, taking pictures, posting, talking about, experiments that are only, solely done on white males. It's still an optic moment. She's not sitting in her emotion from, what happened between her and Kwame. We see Bella on the street, and she's getting all these positive messages, all these, feedback, and it switches to really negative, really bashful, kind of hurtful, sexual, a whole spectrum of things that it's nothing that she's trying to receive from social media. And she kind of cuts it off. And one message, stuck out for me is, she needs therapy. She needs to go and see her therapist, which she finally does. It's very nice to finally see her go back to therapy, someone who's licensed to help her. Because so far we've seen her look for help in all the wrong places. But she's informing her therapist about everything that happened with Kwame and how she feels about it as his friend, and where she is. And the therapist asks, after giving her advice, how's the case going? And she mumbles like, oh, it's closed. She's like, yeah, it's closed. So no one was brought to justice. It's closed. Like, how do you feel about that? What's going on with that? Well, it's closed. I brought my forensic stuff home. It's like, well, how was it to go through those things? She's like, what? What'd you say? I put him under my bed. Like she's been mentally and physically sleeping on top of these issues. Like she's shoved him in there. And, our therapist makes it a point to say, it's important to deal with and go through those things. And you might need to, step away from social media because it's not affirming what you're trying to do. It's giving you a surreal state of, mental state of where you are, and you might not be there, but you're just feeling it because you're getting all this praise. Take a break from that and let's see where you really are. And Bella looks, shell-shocked, like that's been her life. But we see her go back home and dive under the bed and pull those things out. And she pulls out Ben. Ben is really cool. Like, Ben be chilling. Ben don't be going to no parties. Ben don't seem to do any drugs. Ben be on his own wave. I'm like, she might need to hang out with Ben a little bit more. But he's what she has a sonogram in her hand, with a baby. And it shows that she was 10 weeks pregnant at some point. We don't know when, but she had an abortion. And she sits and kind of reflects like, I just did something and I didn't think twice about it. I don't even remember doing it. And that's when we see herself chastising herself. And she's met with that same rhetoric that she spewed at Kwame, when you do things, it just kind of makes me second, guess your judgment and you as a person, take a look at yourself, look in the mirror. And she kind of accepts, everybody's not perfect. I'm not perfect. Kwame made a mistake just like I made a mistake, just like any other person can make a mistake. Like, pipe down. Like, you need to calm down. We see a sigh of acceptance. And it's not just about the Kwame situation, but just about herself and her problems and coming to terms with everything. We see Terry walk in and she's, a little, like, trying to see where Bella is. And Bella immediately apologizes and, goes to Kwame and apologizes to him. And just for a second, I was hoping that Kwame would take a step back and maybe deal with his own issues as Bella was dealing with hers and going through her forensics. But yet again, Kwame opts to leave his friends and go hook up. But, they reconcile. And Bella goes back in and literally dumps everything out on the bed and begins to go through and not only going through those things, but just going through the motions, just her problems. We finally see a hint of acceptance going on, like some progress. I was like, oh, girl. I wasn't sure because here we are, episode 9, and I didn't know if we were ever going to get there, but we did. And, after they're done, of course, Terry's there to support her. Bella just walks out and she just keeps walking. And Terry's like, where are you going? It's cold. Put your jacket on. Where are you going? Where are we walking to? And Lord behold, we're back at that eco death bar that we have not been to since the incident. And we really see her begin to dive into accepting what happened to her. Now she sits in front and kind of looks at the things going on inside. It's like, I'm ready to take that step, but I'm not ready to go back inside the bar just yet. But she sits there and we're left with the notion of wondering what's next for Bella. which is so exciting to see. We're finally getting to the nitty-gritty of the pain, because she is in pain. She is in pain, and she has been lashing out and putting all of her energy into everything but fixing herself. And we seen those first steps in her going to the ego death bar and going through those forensics and acknowledging that people make mistakes just like I do. So I'm thinking back to maybe that's what the whole situation was with her in the dark wig and the dark clothes from Terry's the party get up looming over her in the beginning, because that was really scary. In fact, her sitting in the chair addressing herself was really scary. It was really dark, but it needed to be said. And she needed to hear herself say it to accept it, because Bella could give to whatever what a lot of people are saying to her. She needs to hear that from herself and accept it in herself. But that was my review. I may destroy you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am so excited for episode 10. I think I might give you guys episode 10 a little earlier, because I just want to see what happened. I want to see what's happening with Bella, what progress she's making. Hopefully see some progress made on Kwame's side, because Kwame needs to get away from Grinder. It's like Grinder is a band-aid for a bigger issue. And I also want to see, I saw her take that take Simon's sweater out of that forensics bag, so we might get a little peek into Simon real soon, because we haven't seen him at all. Well, she hasn't seen him at all. But you guys look forward and wait for that. Thank you for everyone who has been supporting my channel and liking and subscribing. I appreciate it more than you know, because this situation here, this is not an easy situation to put yourself out there and put your opinions out there and your statements, your views, your time. As I said, I'm a mother. This is like a whole miracle to do without noise. But I hope to see you guys again. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. It's like, duh, like, why wouldn't you subscribe? Oh my God. Bye, you guys.